Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is the Sun Woman. Welcome to my new podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube and you are a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. Welcome back. And if you're a new viewer, new to my channel, to this community, welcome. It's great to have you here, and I hope that this reading will resonate for you and that you'll consider liking and sharing the video and subscribing to my channel. So this is for, these are messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for August 2020. And if you would like a personal reading, you can contact me. My information is in the box below. I'd be happy to do a private reading for you. So let's see. August is going to be a very significant month for all of us, regardless of our signs, regardless of our planetary positions. There are some interesting aspects taking place in August, some of them easier than others. What I could say is for the other signs that I've done, I'm almost finished with the signs. You are Gemini, and then I have one more, Cancer, and everything will be uploaded for August 1st. But what I can say is that for all the other signs that I've done, 10 previously, I've started out with channeling the astrology for the Sun, Pluto, Jupiter stellium that is in Capricorn and going to be squaring Mars in Aries for this month. Definitely a significant aspect, one that could bring some conflict, some tension, definitely in global events, but also in our personal lives, even though we have more control over our personal lives, so we can really mitigate those challenges. The stellium is going to be in your 8th house, and which is Capricorn. And the Mars aspect, Mars in Aries, of course, is going to be in your 11th house. So 8th and 11th houses aspected there. But before I channel that information, I want to just point out one aspect that's going to very specifically influence you probably very strongly this month, which is the South Node passing over the galactic center in Sagittarius, your opposite sign. The galactic center is widely recognized as the center of our universe, the pure center where wisdom, where spiritual wisdom and divine wisdom reside. And when the South Node, which represents our past karma, passes over that point, there will be in some way a burning off of past karma. So there's the opportunity to release ourselves from karma, to cleanse ourselves in some way and wipe the slate clean. There will be a debt paid in some way or form. Now, this is often brought about by a crisis, okay? And this aspect is going to be in your 7th house, your house of partnerships. The 7th house rules our, one-on-one partnerships, whether that's romantic, whether it's business. It could be marital partners, it could be long-term relationships, could be business partnerships. People who represent us in some way, such as managers, people who are responsible for doing marketing for us, or someone, who represents us is, or who is closely aligned with us, is represented by the 7th house. So, in a nutshell, some of you may experience a crisis in one of these relationships that could be significant this month. And the result of that could go one of two ways. It could be that you come to a point or an understanding through receiving wisdom, right? Divine wisdom, that you have paid your debt to this other person, to this partner. And some of you may decide to release ties, release this karmic tie. So there could be the ending of a long-term relationship, partnership, the end of a marriage perhaps, the dissolution of a partnership, and, you know, where you find your inner truth, and your inner truth, you realize perhaps that your inner truth does not align with the person that you have been aligned with, okay? The alternate interpretation to that is that some of you may be releasing karma through a partnership, and that you will be able to kind of wipe the slate clean of that karmic, the karmic binds, the karmic ties that you had with that partner, and you may start fresh with them, okay? So, you know, it could go either way. You will know what your situation is, but you will definitely know for sure if the person that you're with, or that represents you, or you've been in a relationship with, if you don't recognize them, or you don't recognize the relationship anymore as resonating with your inner values, with your inner truth, then you'll know that it's probably time to let that situation go, okay? If that partnership transforms in a way that continues to resonate with you, then you'll know that, you know, this is something that will continue on. But again, you will be able to apply this to your own situation, okay? You do have the new moon in Leo, which is going to be in your third house. That is going to be trining that aspect, and trining Sagittarius. So there may be, you know, this transformation through conversation, through communication. The third house is the house of communication. So with a new moon there, it could either be that you come to a new level of understanding through opening the lines of communication, or, you know, having a deep conversation, meeting, sit down, laying it all out on the line with this partner and really speaking your truth. Some of you may, as I said, if you are dissolving a relationship, there may be someone that you have aligned yourself with, and now you will be speaking your truth to plant the seeds, you know, which the new moon does, for new beginnings, planting the seeds with a relationship that actually resonates with you. So let's see how that develops for you. Hopefully, you know, whatever the outcome is, know that it is for your growth, and it is for your best interest. Okay. All right. So, let's go ahead and go through the go through the tarot reading here. I've already laid the cards out. I'm using the Muse, M-U-S-E tarot, which is very beautiful, illustrative, bright, and beautifully designed tarot deck. And I am using 2 oracle decks for the readings. One is the Sacred Destiny Oracle, which is kind of a framework for the reading. And then I will be pulling a card at the end of the reading with the Tao Oracle as kind of an exclamation point, and even, kind of a wrap-up of messages from your spirit guides, higher minds, your higher mind, the universe, God, whatever you resonate with, whatever you align with, okay? All right, so in the recent past, we have the 8 of Voices, which is the 8 of Swords. We have the Queen of Inspiration, who is also the Queen of Wands, who is covering you right now. And we have the 9 of Cups coming into the near future. Again, I'm saying that this particular near future card is more of the around that new moon in August, around the 18th. You have the 6 of Wands, or 6 of Inspiration, as the crowning card, which is your advice card. You have the Empress Reversed in the area that indicates influence from other people in your life. That is reversed. You have the 10 of Wands, or the 10 of Inspiration, as your obstacle card. And in the outcome, you have the 9 of Inspiration. So you have 1, 2, 3 4 wands or inspiration cards here, which, is the majority of the reading. So, the main energy here is change, okay? Wands bring in change very quickly. They're also an indication of passion, of energy surging in. So, this month, those energies can be very strong for you. And so you should be prepared that there's definitely going to be some movement. This is not going to be a stagnant month in any way, in any way or shape. Okay? And then at the base of the deck, which is the kind of the center point, the anchor of the reading, we have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is in the reverse, okay? So that is a major arcana. And as I said, you also have the Empress Reversed as a major arcana in the reading. So what's going on here? Well, if we refer back to the astrology, I did mention that you have you have the Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn stellium in your 8th house, which is the area that rules shared resources. Okay, now this could be monies, it could be any kind of support that you get from someone else. It also can indicate taxes, stocks and bonds, inheritances, loans, grants, okay? And so that is going to be in that hard aspect to Mars in your 11th house, which is the 11th house rules your hopes and dreams, okay? It's kind of the house of our goals. It's also the house that rules our group associations, friendships, any kind of groups that we belong to, social groups as well. So you may find that there is some sort of clash or conflict between your finances, which may at this point, you may be experiencing some kind of power struggles when it comes to money, especially if you have shared resources with a partner. You may be finding that partner maybe has more control over your shared resources, your shared finances. Maybe that partner is the one who is providing the most support in the relationship, and they may have been experiencing some limitations or some restrictions, decrease in their financial situation, in their resources. With Saturn there is definitely potential for, reduction in whatever that, is indicated. Jupiter, wants to expand, but Saturn wants to detract, right? Or retract. So there's definitely some instability, lots of fluctuations with a partner's income or monies that you would be receiving from someone else. And that could be putting a damper on you being able to pursue your goals, right? Your most cherished goals. Also, there may be groups or organizations that are causing some conflict where your joint income is concerned, okay? So you may not be getting the support from friends or associations that you were previously receiving the support from, and that is causing you stress, okay? And that is going to be a bone of contention for the month of August. Now, where the reading is concerned, we do have the Eight of Swords coming into the reading. The Eight of Swords is that energy of kind of being trapped, feeling like you are trapped or controlled by a situation. The Eight of Swords definitely has to do with feeling restricted, like your actions are restricted, your movement is restricted. Feeling powerless on some level, okay? And again, there's that 8, right? So we're definitely talking about 8th house, the 8 of Swords here. Often, though, the 8 of Swords, for the most part, talks about restrictions that you feel or limitations that you feel, feeling like being trapped, but you can free yourself. So often they're, perceived restrictions or perceived obstacles. Whereas, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the figure on the card, her hands are tied and she's wearing a blindfold, but the wall of swords that are surrounding her, she can easily step through them and free herself. Okay, her hands are very loosely tied. Once she frees her hands, she can take off the blindfold, and she can see clearly a way out of this restrictive situation. So as we're coming into the month of August, I feel like you will have the ability to, you will have that vision. That vision is going to come to you. I think it may be helped by the influence of someone who is covering you right now and who may be influencing you. This is represented by the Queen of Inspiration. I love that, that this is the Queen of Inspiration, someone who can significantly inspire you and create change in your life. This could be someone who is a fire sign energy, so Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, okay? Again, there's a lot of activity, as I said, with Sagittarius and Aries in your chart. So it could be someone who is shaking things up for you and kind of shaking you out of your self-imposed prison, okay? This person is very charismatic, usually, a very attractive, very sensual person, strong magnetism, strong sex appeal, very confident. This person can be a CEO or, an entrepreneur. Definitely boss energy here, okay? So this person is aligned here with the Nine of Cups. So they are in some way instrumental in some wish coming true that you may have, and that maybe prior to August you were feeling like it wasn't going to happen. But it looks like by mid-August, around that the new moon in Leo, you may find that dream comes true. There will be a wish fulfillment. There will be some sense of satisfaction, joy, happiness brought on by this Nine of Emotions, this Nine of Cups. There could be an overflowing of emotion. So this could be an emotional situation, a romantic situation with the Queen of Wands. It could be a renewal of passion. If you are hoping to take a relationship to the next level, that wish could come true, okay? Just to, refer to the Oracle card here, you receive the card Patience. All right, so definitely with the aspects that we're talking about, you're going to need to exercise patience this month, especially when you may come up against obstacles that you feel are holding you back. But, what the universe is trying to say to you is that, you should be patient with yourself and allow yourself to have a broader vision, okay? Allow yourself to be inspired, because there's a lot of inspiration in this reading indicated for this month. And then the next card you have the Six of Wands, or Six of Inspiration, which is crowning. This is a card about victory, about success. So the Nine of Cups next to the Six of Wands, that's one of the best combinations that I've seen in a while, right? Because the Nine of Cups, wishes coming true, a dream coming true, satisfaction, and the Six of Wands, telling you and advising you that you should consider yourself very lucky, very blessed, very fortunate. Some of you may come into the public eye this month. There could be some public success. You may be broadcasting your message or your Wands are very much business energy as well. Okay, so some of you could see some significant success in your business if you're an entrepreneur. There could be some career success. Positive. It's possible that this Queen of Inspiration could be a hiring manager or a new, or the owner of a business who has a job offer for you. Okay. That could be exactly what you were looking for. And maybe in the last few months, you've been feeling kind of, held back from being able to pursue, or uncertain, or afraid of even, starting to take steps towards your dream because of so much, maybe so much of the instability that's going on in the world right now. So, yeah, I definitely see a victory and you being guided, guided by your higher mind. Now, I've been doing some automatic writing with these messages, and the symbol that I channeled for you was the symbol of an arrow pointing straight up to the sky. Okay. And so I feel that, this definitely refers to that galactic center and Sagittarius there. The arrow is a symbol of Sagittarius. So, definitely the influence of a partner in this month is going to be significant to you. I did see in the vision that I saw while I was sketching was the arrow pointing straight up, going into a hole. Okay, I mean, that sounds funny, but if you could see my sketch, then you would understand, right? Going into like a pinpoint, all right, like threading a needle or threading a hole, or even the concept of throwing a dart and it hitting a bullseye. Okay, so that's the message, bullseye for you this month, Gemini. You're going to be hitting your mark. Whatever mark that is that you're setting your sights on, there's definitely a possibility that you're going to hit it 100%, and it's going to be, it's going to be the result that you want and that you've hoped for. Okay, so Six of Wands there as the advice. Now, the influence, it's interesting because the only card here, I was going to say the only major arcana, but you do have two major arcanas with the Hierophant at the base of the deck. But in the main reading, you have the Empress Reversed, which is the only major arcana that's in that group of cards. Now, this card represents someone else's influence on your life, and interesting because of the the potential of perhaps a crisis or major changes in an emotional relationship or partnership. With the Empress Reversed, that's definitely the energy of someone who is not balanced right now and who may not be acting out of their best energy, their higher energy. Often the Empress represents a feminine energy that is suppressed in some way. Okay, she's not able to express her femininity, her sensuality, her sexuality. Okay, she is not feeling abundant, right? The Empress right side up is abundant, prosperous. She's the mother figure. She's the divine feminine. She's the eternal feminine. Okay, she is the ultimate mother, creator, goddess. So with this Empress Reversed, you could be dealing with someone who is having issues in those areas. Maybe someone who has issues with self-image right now, not feeling comfortable in her skin, not feeling sensual, not able to express her sensuality or sexuality. Someone who is feeling as though she's not abundant, okay? She does not have the resources. This could be a mother figure who's having issues with children, difficulties with children, or difficulties with motherhood in general. This could be someone who's having fertility issues. It can also represent a feminine energy who may be having difficulty with changes of life, okay? So changes through the phases of female reproductive life. So someone who is having problems possibly with menopausal symptoms, okay? And so again, this could be someone who is influencing you and that you are having a difficult time with because of that energy that is really not in its most positive expression, okay? So the patience card says have patience with that person. If this is someone who you love and who you still feel connected to and you want to continue on that connection, you may need to be patient while they work through the problems that they are having this month. Now, the other part of that is that if this person is not able to love freely and is not able to express that love to you and for you and is not a positive energy, then maybe, it is time for you to disconnect or release yourself from possibly a karmic tie, okay? The Empress Reversed definitely could be a karmic partner who is creating some difficulty. You have as the obstacle card the Ten of Wands, and Ten of Wands, definitely can represent burdens, okay? So, directly connected to that Empress card, you could feel like you have some very heavy responsibilities where this person is concerned, or in general, maybe you are carrying heavy responsibilities and this person is not carrying his or her weight, right? Maybe, and again, going back to the astrology, issues with shared resources. So the resources of this person could have dried up or been significantly restricted, and now all of the weight is on you to keep things going, keep your head above board, and maybe the partnership, above water. I see you being successful in doing that, not only because the Six of Wands is there and the Nine of Cups is there, talking about success and wishes coming true. But the Ten of Wands, which is the obstacle card, says that sometimes you have to carry heavy responsibility in order to get to where you need to go, right? So, what did they say about the head that wears the crown? I don't know what the exact quote is. I do know it, but I can't remember at this time. But there's heavy responsibility for the head that wears the crown. Or they say in French, noblesse oblige. So, to those who much has been given, much is expected. So, you may have the strength and the wherewithal and the faculties to be able to carry this extra weight and carry it so well that your success is guaranteed, right? Despite the heavy responsibilities, the hard work, maybe even to the point of exhaustion, you can be successful. You can get to the end of this cycle. And Ten of Wands tend to represent the end of a cycle, and the Ten of Wands can represent the end of a cycle of struggle or heavy responsibilities. What I like is the next card, which represents what could be the potential outcome in August, which is the Nine of Wands. So you're going from the Ten of Wands backwards to the Nine of Wands. But in this case, I like that because I feel that you have released, by the end of the month, you will have released at least one of your burdens, okay? So some of that responsibility, that heavy responsibility you've been carrying, it looks like you will be able to release that and be less weighed down, freed up, whether it is your time, your resources, your energies. Maybe, again, there could possibly be the, dissolution of a relationship, and that relief kind of washes over you by the end of the month, and you're feeling like you're feeling like, okay, I can handle this. Things were heavy before, but this amount of responsibility, I can handle this. I can ace this, right? I can rock this situation. And because you're able to do that, the Nine of Wands is also standing firm, standing tall, defending yourself, being on the defensive, but being successful and standing strong. Okay. So I do see you having that strength at the end of the month to, having gone through whatever you've experienced in August, standing strong and ready for the next step on your journey. Okay. Now, with the Hierophant Reversed, again, I have to go back to the relationship theme here. The Hierophant can, represent a long-term relationship, which we talked about, Sagittarius, South Mode, and 7th house energy here. And again, the ending or the release of karmic ties, freeing yourself from a situation, a partnership. And with the Hierophant Reversed, that could very well happen. There's another indicator that this is what could happen in August. The Hierophant right side up usually represents institutions such as marriage, okay, such as long-term things that have stood the test of time, things that have been around for a long time, tradition, okay, societal mores, societal rules and expectations, okay? As I said, institutions, the institution of marriage, the institution of the church as well, okay? So things that are blessed by religious ceremonies, or, what God has brought together, let no man put asunder, right? Is the Hierophant. So with the Hierophant Reversed here, there could be a breaking free from tradition, breaking free from a long-term connection, breaking free from a contract, and maybe freeing yourself from what have been, beliefs that were influenced by society or, your tribe or your elders, your ancestors or your community or your religious group, right? Values that, though they were valuable in creating structure in your life, or, in society in general, may no longer resonate with you on a personal level, and you will find the strength, the need, or a crisis situation will develop where you will make a decision to free yourself from this type of connection or this type of restricted life situation. Okay. In all, the key word here is patience. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. Often something that has been in existence for a long time, it may take time for it to reverse itself, okay? So be gentle with yourself during this process if you are, feel like you are up against major changes that are happening very quickly for you. The changes may be happening, but you still may need time to be able to process those changes. So give yourself that time and be patient with yourself, Gemini. Okay? All right. And you also have Venus. I'm going to be pulling one of the Tao Oracle cards as well as to close the reading, but also wanted to mention that you have Venus in Gemini. So, there is definitely the indication of there being a sense of well-being, I think. There's love definitely in the air for you. You are loved. You are seen as someone as being lovable. And so, there may be a lot of attention that is directed towards you this month, and especially if we talk about the influence of possibly that Queen of Wands energy, who is, very passionate personality, passionate, character. Also with the Six of Wands crowning, having being seen in a really beautiful light by the public as well. So, you could be really seen as very attractive, very charming, very charismatic, very artistic, perhaps, if you're in the artistic field. Okay. But let's go ahead and pull the card here for you and see what the final message is for Gemini. Here we go. Final message for Gemini for August 2020. What do we have? Let's pull this card here. Okay, so definitely what I was talking about. You pulled the card number 28, excess, okay? And just a little bit about what this card looks like. It is a picture of a man who is kind of crouched down on the ground, and on his back he has a bunch of boulders that are stacked up on his back all the way up into the sky, and they're weighing him down, right? So this is definitely an energy of having heavy responsibilities and being weighed down this month in excess, with these responsibilities. The key words here are stress, overload, exhaustion, obsessiveness, gluttony, burdens, worries, and the breaking point. So interesting, breaking point, galactic center, galactic point, the point of the arrow going through that zero, that hole, right, hitting the target. The Ten of Wands talking about heavy responsibility. So everything is aligning itself here, Gemini, that you are going to be definitely facing, a point of kind of no return. To a certain extent, where it is definitely going to happen that something is going to happen, whether it's an event, a crisis, or your own decision making, that's going to help release you from this excess of pressure that you have been experiencing, okay, coming into August. So again, be patient with yourself. Know that you do have a wish coming true, especially around that new moon in Leo, around the 18th. You have an ally, someone who is passionately attracted to you or wants to, sees you in favorable light and wants to help you. And know that the outcome here is, bask in whatever success and glory and good graces that you receive this month, because you will have earned them 10 times over and you deserve them. All right, Gemini, thank you so much. Wishing you all good things, love, peace, and joy. Please contact me if you'd like a private reading. And always remember that we may seek the light, but we should also be the light. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.